What's one nice thing you'd say about the other John at their funeral?
Don't think too hard.
As I shovel dirt in, I will probably say, "Welcome to Browntown."
Thank you. Am I in a casket in this scenario or
Probably just loose, like loose ground beef.
perfect?
John Wolanske, John Kovacevich, John and John web series.
Hey!
All right. We're back.
The band is back together!
Are you recording?
Yes, I am recording. I'm recording for the first time in 783 days.
Is that true?
That's how long it's been since our last episode.
That's at least a year.
I can't believe we're getting back on this horse.
We haven't aged a bit. So it's like no time passed. And I just feel with this rat-tat-tat repartee,
The rat-tat-tat is back.
dusting off an old pair of gym shorts and putting them on. And
Not only has it been that long since our last episode, I did some math. It's been 4 years, 7 months, and 5 days since our debut episode.
oh my goodness.
We should put up a side-by-side of what we looked like in that first episode almost 5 years ago and what we look like now. I bet we basically look the same.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Let's do that.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same.
I've graduated from that sad pair of earbuds with the cord. I remember that from the first episode. I still have that exact pair.
What is this episode about? I asked you a while back about what it should be. You said male. You said male.
That was part of the answer.
The male form, the males, what it's like to be a male.
No, not international mail.
Do you remember International Mail?
Vaguely.
It was a catalog in the late 70s, early 80s. Did your dad get it?
Hell no. I think he got Sharper Image catalog, Radio Shack's catalog. Did your family receive this thing?
My dad inexplicably got the International Mail catalog. My dad did not dress like this. He's a farmer.
I mean, some of these guys could pass for farmer. Lower bottom right.
Down here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top left in the corner. You just got that at home because someone signed your dad up as a prank.
I don't know that they did great business with my dad over the course of the years. Sadly, this is defunct.
It sure was defunct.
This wasn't your intent. Your intent was mail.
Mailbags.
Mailbags.
I think we just saw some mailbags on.
I think we did.
Yes, the mailbag episode. You know, like viewer mail, there must be questions. We've done so many of these things by now. What's burning in the hearts and minds of the 4 people who watch us?
When I was trying to come up with an image for this, I went to the Chat GPT, the AI robots. What I did is I uploaded all of the pictures of us from the previous episodes. And I said, generate an image of these 2 guys in mailman garb.
Oh, great.
You want to see what they came up with?
Yeah. That's us?
That's us, according to the robots.
I'll take it.
I think we know which one is which.
I think the audience does as well.
I thought, well, maybe the mailman thing was throwing them off, and I go, what if you dressed us both as like newsies, like old time newsies? And this is what they spit out.
Wait, the guy on the left is the same guy as the previous photo.
I think so. I think you're the guy with the mustache and the kind of jaunty open shirt and tie.
Mailbag.
We're going to answer viewer mail. We put a call out on our Instagram. We have an Instagram. Did you know that?
Yeah,
Do you know how many we got?
I don't.
We got more than 20.
Get out of here.
And then I bucketed them into 6 categories.
Oh, wow.
The categories are food, personal appearance, achievement, state of the world, sexual health,
Yes.
and potpourri.
I feel like some of my achievements involve food and potpourri. All right, let's go sexual health.
Sexual health. Do you want to start with sexual?
Wherever you want to start.
It sounds like you want to start with sexual health.
Usually I do.
Sexual health.
What is your least favorite sexual position for each decade of life? I will let you go first. You do 0 to 10. What was your least favorite sexual position when you were 0 to 10 years old?
Tree pose. Just balance in general was tough those years. You?
0 to 10, I gotta tell you, I probably wasn't in a lot of sexual positions.
You're answering NA?
NA. It's good to hear you started early.
Well, I was a self-starter.
Which brings us to 10 to 20, where I think there was a lot of self-starting.
Yeah. It was mostly over the sink. Is that a position?
The sink? All right, another question in this category. How is your prostate since the last show?
Well, let's see. It's been 700 something days. I'm hanging in.
I'm going to guess mine is worse.
We need to take a self-eval moment.
Let me check. Yeah, that doesn't feel as good as it used to.
Yeah.
We're on the denouement of our lives, and that includes your prostate.
Say that again?
Denouement. Denouement.
Are you saying denouement?
Yes, that's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
What did I say?
I don't know, but I like how you say it.
I like to put a little sauce on my French.
Oh, yeah. Sauce it up.
A little bolognese or béarnaise or mayonnaise, one of the naises.
I'm glad it only took 2 questions to get us to prostate talk.
Other categories: food, personal appearance, achievement, state of the world, or potpourri. You choose.
State of the world.
State of the world.
What advice do you have for staying sane in the current socio-political hellscape? Is anything going on in the world that we should be worried about, John?
What could the viewer possibly be wondering about?
It's weird because I feel okay with my life and my family and my friends and stuff like that, but I'm like at a 9 or a 10 in terms of worry about, the country, our political system. I feel bad sometimes that my staying sane idea is just to try to not look directly at the horrors of it all.
I agree. Just being active and actually trying to create as much opportunity to see people as possible has been the most natural reaction, which is a good thing. Trying to find reasons to laugh. More web series, maybe.
Well, that blends into sort of the next question, actually, for State of the World. You started web series during the last pandemic. Will you kickstart it again during the inevitable next national crisis? What do you think that crisis will be?
Are we talking about measles, bird flu? What's the pandemic?
My money is on beaver fever. I'm worried about the beavers, and I'm worried, if the last one started with the monkeys, everybody's like, oh, bird flu is going to be, I'm watching the beaver.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm keeping a strong eye on the beavers.
You have a history of watching the beaver. Where did you hear about beaver fever?
It's just something I think about a lot and that I worry about a lot.
My money's on smallpox.
It's probably smallpox or beaver fever, one of the two.
I think it's going to be a smallpox summer. Last year was a Sabrina Carpenter summer, so smallpox summer 2025.
Will we be as active with web series during the next global shutdown when we can't go anywhere? I think we will. I think we'll all be out of work by then. One of us will have the pox, and so...
Worst comes to worst, our AI stand-ins will take over and it'll be a much better looking show.
That old mailman and that young newsboy.
John Wolanske and John Kovacevich are making a web series. Food.
Waffles or pancakes?
Waffles.
I think I'm a waffle man too. I like a pancake, but waffle, they've got those little craters.
Waffle also implies more ceremony. This is a waffled, I'm going to put on a tie, maybe.
What donut is best? I like a cake donut, just sort of like a vanilla cake with just like a chocolate frosting, maybe a little sprinkle, but I can go either way on the sprinkle. I like a good chocolate frosting on like a vanilla cake donut. Simple, like me.
It will surprise no one to learn this. There was a stretch in my life where I had a donut every day. I like an apple fritter from Bob's Donuts. Here in the city, it's pretty special. But back where I come from on the East Coast, Dunkin' Donuts, very popular. Dunkin' Donuts would make a cruller that they would call a donut stick.
Mm.
Is that you would dunk that in your coffee and eat it with your coffee.
Donut stick might be one of my favorite sexual positions as well.
Nothing says lovin'.
Like a donut stick. Favorite cereal? It will come as no surprise to you that I eat a bowl of Cheerios every morning.
Dry?
No, not dry.
In secret?
When I wake up.
Oh, that's your breakfast?
Yeah, I have a bowl of Cheerios every morning with a little soy milk. Do you remember when iced tea was on the Cheerios box promoting heart health?
That's what did it for you?
I'll take what tea is having. If tea says it, I'm in.
I'm doing it, iced tea. Thanks, Coach.
My favorite cereal might be Cracklin' Oat Bran, which I believe is the worst cereal you can eat. It fools you with the oat and the bran, but don't look at the side of the box for calorie count.
Cracklin' Oat Bran is one of your favorite cereals?
Oh, yeah, yeah. You could pour the milk on it, leave the bowl for like 3-4 days, come back, and it's like it still has its consistency. In college, there was a cereal bar, and people hit that stuff hard. It really kind of sticks to your innards.
What is the best cookie? Also, why don't more people appreciate oatmeal raisin cookies?
Raisins, that's why.
Yeah.
What is it for you?
Chocolate chip, baby. You can't beat a chocolate chip cookie. What are you talking about? What are we even talking about?
Yeah, it's a classic. I like a peanut butter cookie, though.
Really?
Those weird fork hash marks make me think of grandma. It's also, it's packed with protein.
Packed with protein. That's how you evaluate a cookie, whether it's got protein?
It is now. How much fiber, how much protein.
What's your take on the oatmeal raisin cookie? I think it's an abomination. I think it's two terrible things together. It's oats and raisins in a form that should be delicious, but is not.
It's the raisin. You know what? It sounds like someone had an idea for how to make a cookie healthier, which is just the wrong mind frame.
The worst is when you think you're biting into a chocolate chip cookie and it ends up being an oatmeal raisin cookie.
I think what might be worse than that is when you think you're biting into a chocolate chip cookie and it turns out to be someone's head.
Yeah, I guess if you were biting into what you thought was a chocolate chip cookie and it turned out to be a human head.
That's a bad day.
Personal appearance.
Top 5 recommendations for male beauty products.
Yeah, you take this one first. I want to hear it.
Number 1's got to be Lubriderm. Lubriderm lotion. My mom had Lubriderm back when I was a kid, and to this day, I still buy Lubriderm. I don't really need that much Lubriderm. We have a lot of bottles of Lubriderm here at the house. I will never go through all the Lubriderm we have.
I think you buy it as a reason to say the word Lubriderm.
I do like saying Lubriderm.
Okay, that's one.
That is my full
That's it?
care regimen.
A Lubriderm 5-pack.
Just lube it up. You just Lubriderm it up everywhere. Does toothpaste count?
Yeah.
Okay, toothpaste.
What kind? Sensodyne? I like the scope that is the mouthwash and toothpaste in one. You might see those little squeezable. It brightens the teeth. It's a very fresh feeling. So yeah, I'll start there. There's one. The second I would say is any kind of sunscreen. Use sunscreen every day now. Very important.
Do you go outside?
Yeah, I mean, just to run between buildings. Water.
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 Here it is. You gotta hydrate, John. You're in your 50s sexual positions. You gotta hydrate.
Water.
Gotta do 100 ounces.
Wait, you do 100 ounces of water every day?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's work. And then you're like peeing all the time. It's fantastic. Circle of life. And then a good natural deodorant.
Like a coconut or something? Like, what do you mean? Like a natural, you just rub it?
Native deodorant.
Oh.
Some great flavors.
Flavors? You're not eating it, are you?
I take a lick once in a while. Sea salt and cedar. And then what's my last beauty product? Botox.
Yeah.
Just a filler quarterly.
I'm really looking at you right now. What have you Botoxed?
What haven't I Botoxed?
Is it difficult being handsome?
Who's that for you?
Well, it's for both of us, but I think we know who it was directed at, mostly.
Is it, John?
It used to be more difficult than it is now. Do you have a thing when you look at yourself in the mirror, you really can't believe what's happened?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's shocking.
I have a thing too when that happens. I turn around really quickly so as to make myself dizzy. So I confuse myself and just check in again. And nope, it's still the same fucking.
Shit. Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were some handsome young bucks not that long ago. Well, 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Within the recording of this series, no.
No. No. But before this series, I have a picture on my dresser that is from when my wife and I first met and were dating 25 years ago. We were so dewy, or like our skin was so dewy and fresh.
Thank you for qualifying what you meant by dewy.
Yeah, dewy.
Yes.
We were just lovely young people. And now she still looks great. And I look like that man's foot. My kids actually sometimes don't believe the older pictures of me are me.
Who's this man?
Do you do any acting in these, John, anymore?
Acting every day. So, acting jobs?
Professional acting?
No.
Occasionally, I will get like an audition notice from my agent. I say that loosely. I haven't done a paid acting gig in a long time, but you definitely know that you're in a new category. You don't get any of the handsome roles anymore. It's like I got one that was grossly overweight bar patron.
How was the shoot?
I didn't get it.
You didn't get it?
I'll answer it this way. It's not as difficult being handsome as it used to be.
Well said.
What is fashion?
Fashion, it's a vibe.
It's a vibe. I love that.
It's how you pull off what you choose to wear. Fashion it's not so easy to define. It's a je ne sais quoi, joie de vivre.
Denouement.
It's in herbal essences, you know what I mean? That's what fashion is for real.
I want to have a long talk with the viewer who asked you and me this question. You're a fashionable fellow. I see you, and you have sort of like the reverberations of a guy that used to be hip. But I have never been that guy.
You have a timeless style, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like you've worn the same thing. The entirety that I've known you, shades of white to off-white to occasionally a light blue.
My teenage daughter just recently informed me that when I wear gray on gray on gray, gray shirt, gray sweater, and gray pants, I'm wearing what is known as a grout fit. Grout fit. And I'm like, I've been wearing a grout fit for like 20 years.
Achievement.
Who is the bigger boss now? I think they mean between you and me. Like, who's the bigger boss?
You clearly are the bigger boss. You have your own company.
Well, I don't think that when they say boss, like who's the boss?
Who's the boss? Like which of us is more like Tony Danza?
Yeah, which one of us is more like Tony Danza?
I'm probably more like Tony Danza. Hey! Yeah, I do that a lot.
Yeah.
If that is what the question is implying.
I think they were just trying to stir something up between us, trying to
Like
get
a
us.
little competition, more rivalry between us? As if that's possible.
What age do you think you can retire at?
This is the one my wife asked, right? How much have we saved? What age do I think I can retire? I don't think I'm ever going to retire.
Not me either.
And that's not like out of financial concern. I just can't imagine not having something to wake up for that's not like purpose related.
Going back to the political hellscape, I'm not sure any of us are going to retire. We're just going to work.
Oh,
We're going to work until we die, y'all. Hey.
Here we go.
Or the robots will do all of our jobs and we'll just sleep in our meat pods or whatever they give us and we'll just plug into the matrix. It'll be great.
Meat pods.
At this point, how much of your obituary is written?
Isn't this achievement?
Well,
It's more like death, these questions.
I know. I didn't really know what to label this category. A lot of it has to do with death. I think I have more time behind me than I do in front of me. So I'm going to say the most of my obit is written.
I agree.
Being the control freak that I am, I do want to write my own obituary. So I'm like, I need to make sure I work on it and leave it someplace where people can find it.
I would say mine is probably half written.
You think you're moving into the second half
Second half. Yeah.
of your life?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I've got my great, beauty routine.
That's true.
I got to think long term.
All that water is going to pay off with longevity.
That water, that Chipotle franchise I seize upon.
Man, a Chipotle franchise. I wish I'd gotten in on the ground floor of that.
It's quite a future ahead.
What's one nice thing you'd say about the other John at their funeral?
Don't think too hard.
My favorite thing about John Wolanske is that he never outshone me.
I wouldn't be alive to rebut that. So
No.
I would say, he was the one who predicted beaver fever.
I'm a first wave victim when beaver fever sweeps the nation. Potpourri. Somebody asked, can you interview your wives for a future episode? And I think that would be a bad idea.
Us interviewing them is a bad idea. I think them doing their own version could be an interesting. You don't want us in that.
No. Like everything else, we would just ruin it.
I agree. But maybe the idea could be their own mailbag episode.
Female bag.
Female bags.
Are either of you car guys?
My dad was a pretty big car guy.
He was.
One of my brother-in-laws is a mechanic, so he's definitely a car guy. I have a Honda CRV. There's your answer.
I have a Toyota RAV4.
Here we go, baby. Drag racing this weekend.
Maybe that's something you could get into in the second half.
I would love that.
I'm in the final quarter, so I don't have time to get into cars at this point. What are some brain rot words for the 40-plus crowd that will embarrass our children?
What, like noob?
Sus.
Skibbity?
Skibbity.
Skibbity toilet? Riz?
Riz.
You have Riz.
Well, thank you, I think. When you were younger, you got a lot of Riz in the sink.
I did.
If you could have a pool in the shape of any state, what would you choose and why?
I get this question a lot. I think I would choose Michigan. It's a mitten, right?
Michigan, the mitten. That's nice.
Wouldn't necessarily know by the shape that it was Michigan. You'd kind of been like, oven mitt? How about you?
Oklahoma. I'll tell you why.
No, I don't want to know.
The panhandle, that long, skinny part. I feel like I could just get in there by myself and no one would bother me in that part.
Oh, you want a pool that is single use?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Those are all our questions from our fans.
Amazing. This has been a surprising and delightful mailbag.
The bag is now empty.
It's now empty.
Much like after you were done at the sink.
Hey, listen, that was a very active time in my life.
What do you think the fans' reaction to this episode is going to be? Excitement or like, oh God, they're back?
Oh, excitement.
Yeah.
Struggling with the big questions, the big themes, hopefully providing some inspiration here and there. I'll tell you, I look forward to hearing what their reaction is in the comments.
If you're watching this, leave us a comment, like and subscribe, or whatever they say. I don't even know what they say anymore.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
With some Riz.
Hey, John, good ep?
Good ep. Good ep. Let's make sure it's not another 3 years.
Well, let's see how this is received before we make any commitments.
Okay.
Maybe this is the type of show you only want to watch once every 800 days.
See if that fits on the t-shirts.
I think we're not going to have to wait 800 days for beaver fever. So once it flares up, we'll be ready with another batch of episodes. That theme. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
See you after the apocalypse.
See you after the apocalypse.
John Wolanske and Jon Kovacevich are making a web series, and this is the web series that they are making. The web series from Jon Kovacevich and John Wolanske.